Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So finally getting to the Des Moines Con review. I'm sorry it took so long. My computer system got zapped, so I'm doing this with the old handheld camera on the tripod. Probably looks a little different. Hopefully I'll be back up and running another week or two. We'll see if we can get the old computer back up and going. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, so I don't know where to start exactly. Let me start. So this is everything Des Moines Con. Okay, so kind of an all-inclusive deal here. First of all, Mark, buddy, your Google glasses, those Meta glasses, they completely failed me, man. The batteries lasted like 19 minutes and it couldn't download to my phone for Bluetooth, and I don't know what was going on that day. I've always struggled. I'm new at it, but I've never had this, so I don't know. I don't know what I have no idea. So hopefully that'll get better, but I gotta tell you, so far the Google Meta Glass experiment has been iffy at best. We'll keep working on it. I got the flea market coming up here at the end of June, 1st of July, 2025, back up in Spirit Lake, so we'll give it another run. Seemed to work okay there. Des Moines Con itself, I thought the attendance was really good. I thought it was up over last year overall. I haven't heard any numbers, so I can't back that up, but it sure seemed a lot more crowded, especially on Saturday. Not as many young kids. Last year we had the Blues Clues 3 actors that were there, so I think we saw a lot of family groups and younger kids that watched it. This year was Charlie Cox, Netflix Daredevil. Well, Disney Daredevil now, I guess. And man, it was packed, man. I'm telling you, that line just for Charlie, he was only there Saturday, 2+ hours. And I really struggle as an attendee and a fan sometimes with this, because that line was about 2 hours long. He had to do a panel in the middle of Saturday afternoon, which my kids and I attended. We really enjoyed it. It was a good panel. But he was probably away from that booth for maybe a little over an hour, and those people, you know, went from a 2-hour wait to a 3-hour wait, and I'm sure they all got through the line. But it's really hard to enjoy a convention if you bought a one-day ticket and you're standing in line for, you know, 3-4+ hours. You know, you got to get there really early and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, that was an awful lot of money, because it's not cheap, right? Charlie's photo package, I think, was $163, plus your admission ticket just for one day is probably around $40. Gosh, you know, you got $200 into this thing. So I don't know from a vendor standpoint exactly. I guess when I've been at vending at those shows with those guests and the massive amount of cosplay, my sales generally are mediocre, okay, because they're not there for my stuff. And so, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag from a vendor standpoint. From a fan standpoint, wow, the cosplay, mainly Japanese, some American, but really super heavy on the manga anime stuff. And I was not expecting as much as there was, especially with GalaxyCon coming in September here to Des Moines. So I'll see, I'm real curious to see how that matches up if they have the strong turnout for Galaxy that they did for Des Moines Con. Because they really didn't have a lot of anime, manga-based guests. Had a few voice actors, not bad ones, but kind of maybe some older IP stuff. So I don't know. That will be really interesting for me to see. But it was great for the con. It was great for Des Moines. Vendors themselves did. There's probably a couple more comic vendors there this time than last year. I haven't talked to them yet. I don't know how well they did. Airboy there was there. Airboy Comics from the north central part of Iowa, and he's where I get a lot of that Golden Age stuff you've seen on past videos. And here, this is it. This is why I'm not doing a separate finds video. I only got 2 books, 2 good books, but only 2 books. So I got a Witch's Tale number 8. Okay, and let me read that on the back. Does it have the year? Yep, 1950. Oh, no, I can't see with the glare. 1952. So I hope you're not getting too much glare because I cannot tell. I don't have the monitor in front of me to adjust. So I hope that that's coming out. And it's probably only a good to very good. The top staple is cover's popped off of it. But other than that, it's a cover I've really liked for a long time, and I just can't find it. And he treated me right. He's always been very fair to me. This book, actually, I'm a little more excited over. I don't see a lot of single-digit X-Men, Silver Age X-Men books in this area, especially this nice. Now, there's some Marvel chipping up along here. It's hard to see. Maybe I can put it a little bit closer. I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the right spot or not, so I apologize. And other than that, fantastic looking book. These are both going in my personal collection. So I'm not planning on reselling either one. And that was it. That's all I got. There wasn't, there was gold and silver age stuff there, but boy, I gotta tell you, just kind of that typical overgraded, overpriced kind of stuff on the vintage, and that's always frustrating both as a dealer and a collector, because I just think you're killing the market when when you're not accurate like that. Other stuff I saw there, not a lot of Funko Pops. There's certainly some, but not nearly as much as what I've seen the last few years there. So there's a big decline in that. Didn't see any Gundam, Bandai, a few Bandai statues and figures, but not in large quantities. Saw a lot of the vending figures, or the Alibaba figures. They're Gashapon prize figures, they're called, which are not very good quality. Everybody had those, so there's a large quantity of those, and there usually is. I didn't see much of that move out. Swords, oh my gosh. Must have been 2,000 plus prop swords in the place. And they were selling. I watched, I don't know which costume. I think it was Inuyasha. I'm not sure. But he had 3 swords on already, and then he had like 4. So I don't know if they had a deal going at the booth. So he bought 4 more and was carrying them around. My gosh, there is huge quantity of prop swords. They've always kind of been around. I've never seen it in this this level, and they just threw them out on the table. They just made a U-shaped table, just laid them all out as flat as they can, and somebody would come and buy a bunch, and they'd reach under the table and they'd put a bunch more right back on the table. But they were selling. Saw a lot of people carrying those swords around, especially on Saturday. I'm trying to think of what else kind of give you some idea. So watch, if you did see my Facebook, follow me on Facebook, Majestic Collectibles. I did get some footage off the Meta glasses. It's not the best because there's some, I lost segments. They were on the glasses, and then they didn't download to the phone, and then they just disappeared into, I don't know, vaporware. But I put together an okay video from the main floor, so you can see a lot of this stuff going on. Comic artist Phil Hester, local guy from the Eastern Iowa. And he was there. Didn't see his booth as busy as maybe I expected, but he goes to a lot of shows here, so you can come see him at another show in the area pretty easily. Ron Mars did have some folks there. He's Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern guy, and he still does some work. And he wasn't swamped, but he did have people there. There's Fred Gorman, and I don't know, he hasn't worked full-time in a while, but a really good artist was set up there. A lot of indie stuff, book publishers, self-publishers. There was some sort of ghost hunting booth. I didn't stop. I got pictures of it, so you'll see it walk by if you watch the video, but I don't recall ever seeing that before. And it was kind of what you expected. It's really different than GalaxyCon. So GalaxyCon really focuses on anime manga. This is just more of a, I don't know, I guess eclectic mishmash of stuff, but it's a lot of fun. So you just see a lot of different stuff. You never know which vendors are going to be there from year to year. And plushies, oh my gosh, probably next to the prop swords, I would say somebody was moving a ton of plushies, because it seemed like every other person was carrying a big old Pokemon plushie or something like that. And there were a lot there are a lot of plushy vendors there. So it must be the hot thing, that and the swords. Did not see a lot of Pokemon cards. There were a couple booths that had Pokemon cards in them. Pretty pricey stuff. A lot of non-English Pokemon cards at some very English card prices. I thought they were kind of high. Not a lot of American stuff. There was one Magic the Gathering had a really nice booth. It was pretty much all Magic. I don't know any of these guys personally. But he obviously is a pro and really knows what he's doing and knew his stuff. Is pretty cool. I'm not into that myself, but he was doing a good job. He had some really nice stuff. Other than that, you know, it was kind of all over the board. A lot of prints, posters, banners, just a lot of stuff. Again, the vast majority, I would say, was themed along, you know, the Japanese style stuff, not as much as American stuff. And it was just, I don't know, it was really good. And I'm glad Des Moines, you know, I think this is the 4th year, is that right? 4th or 5th for Des Moines Con. I'm glad it seems to be sustaining it and they're supporting it. And hopefully in Galaxy Con in September, you know, we're going to see some of that too. From a vendor standpoint, again, kind of to wrap up with this, I set up at the first 2 Des Moines Cons. It's about $1,700 for a couple of booths now. And I did sell, so I don't want to make it sound like I didn't sell, but by the time I got done with the time and cost, honestly, my profit was almost identical to going to a mall show, like the local QuadCon, or even the QC Toy Show in East Moline, or my flea markets up in Spirit Lake. And they were a lot lower cost and a lot less hectic. And so, you know, it kind of balanced out. I really enjoy just going to a convention and not being a dealer. I mean, obviously that's how I look through that lens because, you know, 41 years, right? I mean, it's just ingrained at this point. But it's really nice. And what I did is I take that booth money that I would have spent, you know, setting up and buying a booth and running a spot. And I just take that money, that amount, and then I go and spend it with the vendors. Is kind of how I thought of that, and I've had pretty good luck. I didn't buy as much this year as previously, but I'm kind of looking for some, I guess, esoteric or oddball stuff that's not real common anyway, and so that happens. Didn't bother me any, but I had a great time. The panels were fantastic. We saw the Baldur's Gate 3 voice panel people. We watched that. That was really funny. I watched the Marvel panel headlined by Charlie Cox. That was really good. I didn't make any of the official costume contests, unfortunately. There's always like overlapping, conflicting events with different things. I stuck my head in the panel rooms. They actually seemed fairly well attended. You know, they had some different panels, a lot of voice actors, but also Phil Hester, I think, was one of the ones put on a panel about writing and drawing in comics. I didn't make that one, but most of the panels, you know, I always feel sorry for some of these panelists because you go in and there's like 3 people and they're related to them, kind of thing. But this seemed to have, for the panels I saw, was pretty well attended, and I think that's important if you do go to a convention, to have maybe that quieter, less hectic, more focused, you know, kind of experience with some of these, you know, veteran, you know, voice actors and artists and writers and things like that. It's really pretty cool. If you don't do that, you should do that. And overall, I think it was a very fun event. I know it's not a cheap event, and I've heard this just talking with some folks locally. They just didn't want to spend the money on a ticket. And if you do go, drink it all in. You know, don't go for an hour or two and say, oh, there's nothing there, or, oh, I didn't like the show. Because, yeah, if you go and don't do anything, You know, you don't have to buy a bunch of stuff. You know, it's weird coming from a vendor, right? But just as going as a fan and a convention goer, just kind of go, take it slow, drink it all in, take pictures. If you do cosplay, they have cosplay meetups where people with themed costumes or from a certain show meet at a certain place at a certain time. Great way to see the costumes, and if you're in costume, you make a ton of new friends and stuff on it. So I would encourage anybody to do that. And that's all I've got right now. So again, I apologize for being so tardy on this. Hopefully it'll go a little smoother. I'll get that glasses thing figured out, do more of a walk around in the Blue Ribbon Flea Market coming up here on the 4th of July weekend. And if you got any questions, comments, if you got any pictures of Des Moines Con and you want to send them, I can post them, put them on Facebook. There's a ton of pictures that were taken. I put a few up, and I got a couple videos of it. Should give you a kind of a somewhat abbreviated idea of how that went, and hopefully hopefully everybody will be back for GalaxyCon in September on that. So that's it. That's all I've got for now, guys. Thanks for watching.